Most people call wealth abundance, but its first power is refusal. Refusal changes negotiations before a single number ever reaches the table. When survival depends on approval, even honest choices become painfully expensive. And that is why financial power begins where desperate agreement finally ends. 5 centuries ago, Machiavelli examined how dependence quietly shapes human conduct. He saw that promises weaken when incentives, fear, and necessity collide. His subject was political survival. Ours is ethical economic independence. This is not permission to deceive, dominate, or exploit another person. Manipulation creates enemies, hidden liabilities, and power that cannot endure. Durable power comes from usefulness, credibility, options, and freely chosen cooperation. The goal is simple. Never let one gatekeeper own your future. You need income, but you also need room to say no. You need alliances, yet none should become a beautifully furnished cage. 7 rules turn money from a scoreboard into practical freedom. Learn them, and permission becomes useful sometimes, but necessary far less often. Rule 1. Build alternatives before you are forced to need them. An option is not an idea, it is a prepared second path. Start with cash sufficient to survive a realistic interruption of income. The amount matters less than the breathing room it deliberately purchases. Then build one skill that travels beyond your current institution. Portable skills solve recognizable problems across companies, clients, and changing markets. Do not merely perform tasks. Understand the valuable outcome behind them. Name that outcome clearly enough that strangers can evaluate your usefulness. Next, create direct distribution, relationships, audience, referrals, or a trusted list. Distribution lets your work travel without begging one platform for visibility. One employer can be excellent, dependence on one employer remains fragile. One client can be profitable, dependence on one client weakens every boundary. One platform can accelerate growth, then alter its rules overnight. So cultivate a small portfolio of credible routes to opportunity. Test them while conditions are calm and your judgment remains unhurried. Send one proposal, publish one useful analysis, reconnect with one former colleague. Alternatives become real through repeated motion, not comforting imagination. When one door closes, preparation makes another door already familiar. Rule 2. Follow incentives more closely than declarations. Words reveal intentions. Repeated choices reveal what the system actually rewards. Watch budgets, promotions, deadlines, and who controls the final decision. Map 3 forces around every opportunity: reward, risk, and control. Who gains when the project succeeds and who pays when it fails? Who can change the terms after your work has already begun? These questions are not cynical. They prevent expensive misunderstandings. Healthy arrangements make value creation visible and consequences reasonably shared. Unhealthy ones privatize applause while distributing every setback downward. Judge organizations by tolerated behavior, not framed values in the hallway. Judge markets by purchases, not compliments offered after your presentation. Then place yourself near problems that are urgent, costly, and measurable. Saving 10 hours matters when delay already carries a visible price. Reducing errors matters when each mistake damages trust or wastes scarce material. Increasing revenue matters when your contribution can be fairly demonstrated. The closer you stand to measured value, the clearer negotiation becomes. Incentives are the riverbed. Declarations are merely water reflecting sunlight. Read the riverbed and choose work where contribution and reward can align. Rule 3. Build leverage by stacking skill, proof, and distribution. Skill alone creates value, but strangers cannot safely assume its quality. Proof makes ability visible through outcomes, artifacts, and credible testimony. Distribution carries that proof toward people already needing the result. Multiply the 3 because each strengthens the reach of the others. Deep skill with no proof remains hidden behind your own confidence. Proof without distribution becomes a trophy nobody relevant ever encounters. Distribution without skill produces attention that collapses under examination. Begin with one narrow problem and solve it unusually well. Record the starting condition, your intervention, and the measured result. Turn the result into a concise case study someone else can inspect. Then share the lesson where serious practitioners already exchange attention. Do this repeatedly until evidence begins introducing you before conversation does. Leverage also means tools, systems, and assets that preserve yesterday's effort. A template saves hours. A process prevents quality from depending on mood. An audience lowers discovery costs. Ownership protects your future access. Together, these assets let 1 hour influence many future transactions. Replacement becomes difficult when your value is documented, connected, and repeatable. Do not hoard knowledge to seem essential. Build systems and keep growing. Ethical leverage expands collective capacity while improving your negotiating position. Rule 4. Convert money into time before converting it into display. Every recurring expense quietly raises the income required to remain free. Lifestyle can become dependence, wearing the flattering costume of success. Distinguish comfort you genuinely value from status you must continuously finance. Build money in 3 layers: survival, resilience, and independence. Survival covers the immediate shock without panic or humiliating urgency. Resilience absorbs a longer winter, repair, illness, or uneven demand. Independence funds a deliberate transition toward a better arrangement. These layers need personal numbers, not borrowed rules designed for strangers. Calculate essential monthly costs, then define each layer in months. Automate contributions so discipline does not renegotiate with desire every payday. Reserves are not idle, they purchase patience under pressure. Patience lets you reject rushed deals and investigate hidden trade-offs. It lets you recover, retrain, relocate, or wait for better timing. In that sense, cash is stored courage, available when conviction becomes costly. But courage also requires resisting expenses that erase tomorrow's choices. Buy tools that increase capability, health, access, or durable joy. Question purchases whose main function is proving something to indifferent observers. Your wealth should widen your calendar, not merely decorate your captivity. Time is the first dividend of genuine financial power. Rule 5. Make reputation your armor before conflict ever appears. Reputation is other people's expectation of your future behavior under pressure. Make one specific promise your work can consistently keep. Perhaps you clarify complexity, deliver reliably, or repair failing systems. Specificity travels farther than claiming excellence at everything for everyone. Attach evidence, dates, outcomes, samples, references, and transparent limits. Evidence turns praise into confidence a careful buyer can transfer. Keep claims modest enough that reality can repeatedly exceed them. Never fabricate artificial scarcity, credentials, customers, or measured results. False leverage is debt because exposure charges interest without warning. Strategic privacy, however, differs fundamentally from deliberate deception. Not every plan, reserve, grievance, or negotiation requires public performance. Share what builds trust. Protect what creates unnecessary vulnerability or noise. Let completed work speak before announcing every unfinished ambition. When errors occur, acknowledge them early and repair what you reasonably can. Accountability strengthens armor. Defensiveness corrodes it from the inside. Over time, consistency reduces suspicion, friction, and the cost of opportunity. Your name becomes a bridge others are willing to cross. Guard that bridge carefully, without turning your life into constant theater. Rule 6. Align interests so cooperation survives beyond goodwill. The strongest alliances combine different capabilities around a genuinely shared outcome. Seek complements, not copies. People whose strengths complete your weak edges. A brilliant maker may need distribution, a connector may need delivery. Alignment begins by stating what success means for every participant. Then write responsibilities, ownership, timing, payment, and decision rights clearly. Clarity is kindness when memory, pressure, and circumstances inevitably change. Before large commitments, run a small test with real stakes. Observe response speed, candor, craft quality, and behavior after mistakes. A minor project reveals more than an impressive dinner conversation. Good partners discuss tensions while they are still inexpensive to resolve. They share upside fairly and do not export all downside to others. Keep alternatives even inside healthy alliances. Choice preserves mutual respect. No colleague, investor, supplier, or customer should become your only oxygen. Concentration may improve speed, but it also magnifies a single failure. Diversify critical relationships without treating people as interchangeable pieces. Loyalty means honoring commitments, not surrendering judgment or identity. Aligned interests turn negotiation from combat into durable architecture. Build alliances that leave every honest participant stronger and more capable. Rule 7. Keep an exit even when the room feels comfortable. An exit is not disloyalty, it is protection against changing conditions. Before entering any arrangement, ask 3 questions about what remains yours. What will you learn that can travel into a different setting? What will you own? Equity, rights, tools, relationships, or reusable systems? What proof will you retain when access to internal systems disappears? If every answer is nothing, compensation must recognize that severe dependence. Prefer roles that leave you more portable each year. Document outcomes without exposing confidential information or another person's property. Maintain relationships beyond the walls without covertly undermining current work. Keep credentials current, samples organized, and your market understanding alive. Notice when learning slows while dependency continues to rise. Notice when promises repeatedly replace enforceable terms or measurable progress. Prepare quietly. Theatrical threats only weaken trust and reveal poor discipline. If departure becomes necessary, communicate directly and respect agreed obligations. Transfer knowledge, settle accounts, and leave the bridge intact whenever possible. Never sabotage the place you leave. Reputation travels faster than resentment. Mobility works best when nobody notices frantic movement behind the curtain. Build exits during stable seasons, not amid smoke and collapsing beams. The person who can leave often negotiates calmly enough to stay. Quiet mobility turns uncertainty from a threat into navigable terrain. Now convert the 7 rules into a focused 30-day protocol. First, audit dependence across income, skills, platforms, clients, and location. Circle every single point of failure that could remove your choices. Second, choose one portable skill linked to a costly, measurable problem. Spend 10 deliberate hours improving it through practice and informed feedback. Third, complete one proof project with a clear before and after. Publish the lesson appropriately, protecting every confidential detail. Fourth, create one direct distribution channel you genuinely control. Fifth, automate a reserve transfer, however modest the first amount. Sixth, contact 3 complementary people and offer something useful first. Ask about their constraints, goals, and standards before proposing cooperation. At month's end, review evidence rather than judging yourself by mood. Repeat monthly, and small alternatives accumulate into unmistakable negotiating power. Income pays today. Ownership carries yesterday's work into tomorrow. Reputation opens doors. Alliances widen rooms. Reserves protect your timing. Alternatives make every promise more honest because consent remains real. Build usefulness, evidence, ownership, relationships, reserves, and a quiet exit. Wealth is the number of bad arrangements you can read